and what it tries to protect, whether it's saddu zariya and the harm it's trying to avert, istihsan, whether it's qiyas and its own hikmah or illah, the wisdom there. And as you've mentioned also with the qawaid, if we look at the evolution of the toolbox, the evolution of the methodology of ijtihad, the having a separate subject like qawaid al-fiqhiyah, where the spirit of Sharia is articulated to guide jurists when it comes to application of laws. Here we are looking also at maqasid Sharia as really separating it as another subject to look more carefully on specifically the objectives, the intents, the wisdom, the why behind these laws. So we see an interconnection between them. Malam Nasir, what else can you tell us on this issue of the importance of, but also the use of this type of, this field of maqasid Sharia? Ibrahim, sorry.
Well, I think the importance of these kind of things, they just help us to be more sure that we are on track. And how do you do that? You subject it to one system of assessment or scrutiny, and it's scaled through. You're coming from a different direction and you scale through, and you're looking at from a different latitude and you're getting through. It's like having something you are not sure, or you want to be sure it is genuine, and getting 3 independent people from different backgrounds to actually endorse it. This we call triangulation. So usul al-fiqh is a field of knowledge that is concerned with deriving formulas on how various schools of thought, the toolbox scholars use in giving verdicts, in making conclusions from their interpretation of Sharia or understanding. Qawaid al-fiqhiyya is like the what you can call rules of thumb or traffic rules that guide this application of formulas so that they don't err. We are humans, we have limitations, but you have like a sort of checking system. Now, maqasid Sharia is like giving direction to all of these things and a bearing. Where exactly do we really want to be? What is the aim? Like, what is our end in mind with all of this we're doing? So the importance of triangulation and the application through different tools is one another important thing this has helped us to do when we relate them from the tools box, maslaha, saddu zari'a, and most other tools actually of secondary tools aside Quran and Sunnah. And we come and look at the qawaid and we look at the masali, we'll be more comfortable now and more certain that yes, we are really in line with the teaching of Quran and Sunnah.
So ijtihad being juristic reasoning, scholars have come up with various ways of assessing the quality of that juristic reasoning.
Yeah.
Usulul fiqh being one, and yes, there are some differences regarding the schools when it comes to the methodologies, but generally there's the understanding that you start with Quran and Sunnah before moving on to the secondary tool. So that is one lens where you look at the evidence of a particular ruling or fatwa or hukum on something. You can look at it from the perspective of what is the evidence. You can use another lens, which is looking at it from the spirit of the law, which is looking at it from the perspective of the qawaid. You can look at it from another lens, which is looking at it from the perspective of its objectives. Maqasid Sharia, as you've, I think, eloquently explained, being an articulation of the objectives, the ends, the higher intents of the Quran and Sunnah that we are certain about. As somebody once said, when you try to get 2 pencils, when you close one eye and try and get them to touch each other, you would most likely miss when you're using one eye. So if you close one eye and try and do that, you will probably miss. When you have 2 eyes, it's more accurate what you're doing. Imagine if you have a third eye. how accurate you are in assessing distance, etc. And that what these three fields do is add greater certainty, add greater accuracy in the extent to which ijtihad represents the Prophet ﷺ, improving the approximation of truth, reducing the error margin in human reasoning. Thank you so much for your contributions. Inshallah, we look forward to a more in-depth discussion of this whole process of triangulation, of quality control and assessment of fatwas with examples, inshallah, in subsequent episodes. Thank you so much. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.